So today, Justice Jayne Jagot was sworn in as a judge of the High Court, and she now brings the number of women on the court to 4 out of the 7 members of the bench. So we have a female majority on the High Court, and that's the first time that's ever happened in Australian history, and it makes Australia very rare on the international stage to have a majority of women judges on the highest court of the land. So compared to the UK, for instance, there are more judges named David on the UK Supreme Court than there are women on the bench. And certainly compared to the US and Canada, Australia now is leading the way in terms of gender diversity. In terms of diversity in other areas, like cultural and ethnic diversity, Australia is still lagging behind courts like Canada. So while we can celebrate this moment in history, we shouldn't be complacent in on the topic of judicial diversity. The Attorney-General commenced his remarks today by emphasising that judicial diversity matters and that a diverse court is a better court. And that's the clearest signal we've ever had from an Attorney-General in Australia of the value of judicial diversity to make our courts operate in a better and fairer way. So that was a key takeaway from me. The other thing that really resonated in the ceremony was that Jayne Jagot is an exceptionally good lawyer and so respected in the Australian legal community. And we're really fortunate in Australia, because if you compare the reception to the news of her appointment and the universal acclaim amongst the legal profession, that doesn't always happen when judges are appointed to apex courts in other countries. You just have to look at the example of the United States, where a number of recent judges were appointed and the bar associations there were publicly saying that those people weren't qualified. So here we can be confident that the very best people are being appointed to our courts, and that's a very good thing. So today we have a majority of women appointed to the High Court, and it was only 35 years ago that we had the first woman appointed to the High Court. And the contrast between today and Mary Gaudron's swearing in 35 years ago was really stark. When Mary Gaudron was sworn in as the first woman ever appointed to the High Court, the legal profession didn't really know how to welcome her. The Attorney-General of the day didn't say anything about the historic moment that we had the first woman appointed to the court. And the second speaker from the legal profession didn't want to talk about her achievements as first woman because he said he didn't want to be sexist. So we had a real level of discomfort around what does it matter that we've got a woman appointed, and how should we treat this historic moment? There was none of that discomfort today. The Attorney-General was very clear that diversity matters and that having a diverse judiciary is the best thing for the Australian courts. And then there was a warm and extensive celebration of Jayne Jagot as an excellent and qualified judge.